if you're someone that struggles to find gratitude in your life, if you're someone that sees the cup half empty and you want to be someone more like seeing the cup half full, well, maybe this will help. Today is Thursday, December 19th. December 19th, I got 19 miles today. Finally snowed. Look at this. I'm wearing leggings today because I know there's gonna be a lot of snow out here today, but the snow is good because it's good training for Arrowhead and what to expect up north in just over a month's time. 135 miles, minus 40-degree weather. No real support except for the sled that I'm carrying and the 3 aid stations that are 35 miles or 7 hours apart from each other. So this is good training. These hollow socks are gonna be socks that I'm gonna be looking to use during this race, so I'm actually okay with them getting completely snow filled today. And I'll see how they handle the elements. So far, I've just been trenching through snow and they feel dry still, so that's good. That's a good start. Got a flight home tomorrow back to Chicago for Christmas, and the hard is only just getting started for the month. We've got 161 miles to run from now, well, not including today. 180 miles to run between today and the 26th. 161 of those will come while I'm home with family, trying to split time between making sure I'm consistent in my training, consistent in my YouTube output, in the business that I'm creating and building in this, and keeping the momentum alive, and also spending time with family, because all of that is super important. And I want to make sure that I'm allocating my time in each bucket appropriately. I know I'd thought about doing less miles these days that I'm home, but that just didn't feel right. It goes against the messaging that I live by and want to live by, and that I advocate others live by. If I got 5 hours of running, 6 hours of running, then I better get up early and go do that before the family activities begin. But the option to just not do those miles or do half of them, or that's, to me, a cop-out. I don't get to just change things because they're uncomfortable. That's not how it works. And I want to be successful at these races. And so finding ways to choose the harder option, choose the uncomfortable option, is going to be the thing that ultimately allows me to dig even deeper in the moments when it really matters. And one could argue, I can make the argument that it matters more in the training because the stakes are much lower. So there's that for you. Let's get into the thought of the day.
The Yoakum Strength Insider is built to create better movers. Not only will you receive an elite program, but access to an app that helps you track your lifts, videos for reference, and direct communication with a Yoakum Strength coach. All the clips you see here are from today's workout, so that you can get a reference point of what we do on a daily basis. Find your program below and use Dowdle10 for 10% off today.
Back in college, I was much different than I am today. I was not one who liked to take responsibility. I got in trouble on a number of occasions with drinking or smoking the ganja. And it even led to me getting suspended from the football team for a spring. And during that time, even when I was suspended my freshman year, I just thought to myself, how unfair is this? What am I doing that's any different than anybody else? I'm just getting unlucky. The world's unfair. this isn't fair, I'm a victim of the situation. A bunch of nonsense being spewed. It wasn't until my third time getting in trouble that I finally realized that, hey, maybe it's time to make a change. And I wasn't aware of it at the time, but just thinking about it now and reflecting on it, it's like, what about that time changed? What about that time changed my perspective to start looking at my decision-making process, maybe more accountability? Like, what about that moment made me change? And I think what's interesting is being an athlete, I was so attuned to looking and seeking out patterns. You know, offenses, receivers, quarterbacks, there's a pattern, a system, and you start to pick up on the negatives. You start to find the weaknesses and attack them. And I think maybe part of it subconsciously was that I was picking up on this really weak pattern that I was in. Because what drove that is I was just sick and tired of being embarrassed. I was sick and tired of disappointing my family and my friends and my teammates and people that were counting on me. I was embarrassed and tired of disappointing people that were putting resources and love into me. And I was not holding up any bit of integrity or gratitude for that. And it was during that time that I sought out help. I began a journal practice, and that journal practice has continued even to today. One of the things that helped me to not just recognize moments of gratitude and write them down, but really reflect on them was I would finish a journal, and then I would go back and I'd spend as long as it took to read through every single page, every single word that I wrote. I would go back and I would read it. And it was a really powerful reflection tool that I've used to be able to just take a moment and say, hey, look at what has gone on this past year or past 8 months. Look at all the good that has come from it. And yeah, there was still bad, there's still negatives, but at least I could recognize if that mistake was more of a one-off goofball type of error or something that I really needed to pay attention to and focus in on more and change actions in my life. But there's times where I've struggled to recognize and appreciate what's happened in my life and have a real true sense of gratitude. But it was taking those moments when I really sat in it and I gave myself time to sit in the moment that I was in, or sit and reflect back on the moments or pattern of moments that I had so much to be grateful for. So if you're struggling with trying to find the light, if you're struggling to find the glass half full in your life, give yourself an opportunity to see it. Give yourself an opportunity and chance to really sit in it and feel it. It's not just gonna pop up in your life. It's something that you gotta really be intentional with. And slowly but surely, over time, you'll start to notice a change. And notice a change in your heart, your mindset, and the ways in which you look for those opportunities in your life. And once your eyes are open, you can't take the glasses off. You've seen, and you start to see it everywhere, all the time. If you're struggling today, this is not the end. It's the beginning, if you want it to be, of this next chapter of seeking the light. I'll see you tomorrow. It's a beautiful day. What's there to complain about?